I want to welcome you to Dream Chasers Radio with me, your host, Yaya Diamond. What's up, peoples? How you doing? It is a great day. It is a cold day here, but my guest looks so warm and pleasant and green, and I'm cold. I'm in Florida. Okay, I shouldn't be cold down here in South Florida, but she's in Costa Rica, and it's like Florida weather down there. But
Warmer.
I want to welcome Cru to the show. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. Hi, Yaya. It's so nice for you to have me here.
Oh, it's such a pleasure to have you on. You make me feel like as if I need to be where you are.
Definitely. Everybody should be here.
Wow. So tell us about yourself.
Wow, that is always a grand question.
It is. It is. It's a trick question. It's to get you to talk.
Yeah. So what can I say about me? I'm like this tiny little person that was born in Germany and raised in Germany, and then discovered that Germany is way too small for her. And I was also born with the ability to see all things, not just the physical matter, like also see the energy fields and auras and things that surround human beings, and also that is in nature, like all sorts of nature beings and stuff like this. And of course, as a child, you think everybody's like this because you don't converse over these things. And then I learned with getting older that not everybody sees these things that I see. And then I, of course, had this idea maybe I'm wrong or so. And then I was lucky to have a great mom that helped me to understand that there's nothing wrong. It's just different. And so after I grew up and went about a normal life, I left Germany, tingled all over the world and did all sorts of different things until I ended up in America. And from America, I ended up here. And when I had my first baby 21 years ago, I decided to also make that gift my profession and help people to understand their world better, understand why they live the lives that they live, and if they want to change that, how they can do that, and how you can actually fulfill the whole potential that is there, because we are all such amazing and beautiful beings, and none of us have to really live with lack or deficit. We all have a birthright, and that birthright is abundance. And I'm really good at understanding how to create it, and how to, often it's really just that so many things and humans are disconnected and their knowing is not there. So I help them to understand, where is my abundance and how can I come about it, and what kind of potential do I have, and how can I unfold this? So I have done this as a mommy of two amazing boys, and I've done this with my marriage, and I have done it in a business way. So basically, I've also done it with me. So this is who I am, like this tiny little person all over the world.
A tiny little
unfolding
person.
abundance.
That does not sound like a tiny little person.
I'm only 5 feet.
Oh my gosh. Well, tiny little person that maybe in statue, but definitely not in your abilities. You're
well, thank you.
grandiose. So you're the founder of Cru Essence, and you have coached and helped countless individuals and business clients in Europe, the USA, Asia for over 20 years. What is the most common denominator between all of these people? What is something that you see almost all the time?
Yeah, I have just led a training here for people to understand who they are and how to unfold that into their lives. And the last thing that I said today was the last day of the training. There's one essential thing that all humans, actually not only humans, all beings need and want, and that is to be seen. Because to see is to love. And that is like really be seen. And that is what everybody wants, no matter what culture you come from. Everybody wants to be seen. That is the one thing that I noticed in whatever that is for that moment, and to be accepted, of course, in that being seen, and then also make that come true. I have a really good like ability to see somebody in what they really are, even if something on the surface is completely different, difficult, or unlovable, maybe even in the outside world. And but that's all just stuff on the outside. The truth is that everybody is beautiful inside, and that can be unfolded, and everything can be healed that is in the way. And so that's what I noticed most, that people appreciate the most, is that they feel seen. And I think that's a great need, no matter if
Yeah.
you're a little doggy or if you're the little ant that is crawling through the jungle.
Poor Aunt. Oh, I know. My gosh. So you have a podcast too. Tell me about this.
No, I don't have a podcast.
It doesn't say a podcast? Oh, okay. You
No,
don't
no, no,
have a
no,
podcast.
no. But
Well,
maybe I should have one. Maybe you have a good idea
why
there.
don't you have a podcast? That should be the question, right? So, oh my gosh. So you could put together a really cool podcast. I mean, this could be all about personal development and about seeing things and about growing and about, I mean, how would you do that? If you did do that, how would you do that?
I don't know. I have actually just recommended one of my clients to have a podcast and to bring on all sorts of amazing people from this new time, because we have heard so many things. We have a new time since 12 years. And go for the first time in this creation cycle, completely the opposite direction. Like so far we have gone this way, and now we're going this 12 years this way. And so everything's different. So many things that we have applied to this movement cannot be applied to this movement anymore. So we have to find new wisdom, new movement, things that fit way better in this time that is coming now, that we're just on the brink, basically, because what is 12 years compared to such a long time that we went the other direction? But I think I would love to have young people on there that tell me where they come from and what they have come here to give to this world. And I see this with my sons. I've always asked them, what is your gift? What are you bringing to this world? What can I learn from you? And they have both become such amazing little people. I mean, they're not so little. They're actually way taller than their mom. And they are amazing, and they know so many things, and they're so wise, and I would love to hear the wisdom of the new kids in town. No,
Wow.
New Kids on the Block. Wasn't that a band?
Yes, that was. Yes, that was. I'm sorry to challenge you today, but I mean, maybe, I was talking on my show, and I was telling people how we don't take our own advice.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, you're
We
telling other people to do a podcast. I mean,
well, I actually would love that, because I love to talk. This is totally my thing. Like, this training situation here is like giving away all the things that I have to give, and see people use it and do something with it. Like, I totally would love to be having a podcast. It's just that I'm doing so many things, and it's so far life hasn't given me that space. We just talked about writing a book, you and I, before the show
yeah.
started.
Well,
And
after the show, I got a suggestion for you.
oh, good.
It's gonna be quick, easy, and on your phone.
Oh, amazing. There you go.
So I got you covered, girl. I got you covered. So we're going to be talking about confidence and how to embody it, right? So, I mean, tell me more about this.
So what does confidence really mean, right? Like, that means that I do know who I am, and that I feel safe in that space of me being me. But that's where it already starts to suffer for most humans, because most humans don't learn who they are. And then they can't find safety in that. And also not in them being them because I don't even know what that means. So confidence really comes from knowing who you are. And
Mm,
that doesn't have to be all the way to the origin of all times. That can be just for this life and finding your place and being okay with what you've got and what you have unfolded. And that is also the new sexy, right? Maybe it has always been kind of sexy, because now I'm thinking we have seen this in a lot of sexy people. They were also confident. But what sexiness is also happiness. To be okay with what you have creates so much draw. And that draw helps you to be safe with what you put out. And all of these little chain reactions with one another, all of these resonances, they create that sense of confidence. And what we then find very attractive, of course, in others. And especially when it's real, of course, there's a lot of confidence out there that is created with substance and with all sorts of other compensation mechanisms. A person like me can see through that kind of confidence very quickly. I think that actually a lot of people can see through that very quickly. And and then I always see all this beauty that is there that they could rely on, that they could be safe and then okay with. So it's really a path of finding out who you are and then making yourself be very safe in that, being that. And
nice.
yeah, yeah.
I love that. I love that. And you're right. A lot of people do see through a lot of stuff, a lot of stuff, a lot of stuff.
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So, okay. So the next thing we want to talk about is because I know that your time is limited because you're booked out. You are a busy woman.
Well, yes, there's not so many of me.
I know, I know. So let me hurry. I'm trying to get it done. I'm trying to get it done. So
No,
how,
it's all good.
so how to tune into your own abundance and make it come true in your life. Again, this is all lining up with the morning talk that I have about, self-confidence and personal endurance and, the law of attraction and how to demystify it and all this. I mean, you are just on my wavelength here. Okay. So
Was meant
tell
to
us
be.
about this. I mean, the abundance and how to make it come true in your life.
So the very first thing that we all have to understand is that we all have this birthright, that one birthright, and that is abundance. None of us have deserved any less than everything, because every one of us is everything. We are not these individual lost little beings that float around in a very great space, not knowing what they're doing. We are actually really amazing beings. Every one of us, no matter where you are right now, and no matter whether you have something to eat on your plate or not, whether you have a career on or you're on the streets, or it doesn't matter. Every single one of us has that birthright and the ability to be abundant. And abundant doesn't only mean to have money to spend, because I have a lot of clients that have so much money, but they are not abundant. They might have a lot of money, but abundance, that is something that comes from within, that comes from knowing yourself. Again, we come back to this place of understanding who you are and making yourself come true in that way. I'm a very tiny person, like in 5 feet. I said that already. If I wanted to be a basketball player, hmm, I'm not so sure how happy I would be able to become with that. Um, I was actually in high school, in a high school exchange from Germany to the US, and I picked basketball because I thought that would be amazing to learn that game, because we didn't learn about that game in Germany. And they all laughed at me when I came in. I was shorter than 5 feet at the time, with 15 years old. And they were sweet. They didn't send me away. They let me learn how to shoot hoops and stuff, but they wouldn't let me play. And so we have to embody what we truly are. If I am a puzzle piece with sky and stars on it, then I should be that. If I am a puzzle piece with palm trees on it, then I should be that, and not try to be the sky, the night sky. So a lot of the abundance lays in expression of what is really there. Accept that. Like, would I have liked to be taller for some things in my life? Definitely, but that just didn't go for me this life. So I made it work in what I had, and understood what is really valuable within me. What is my thing that I can be great with? And if you can find that in you and learn to trust that, then you can start to understand what am I doing that is actually preventing this, or what can I do to support this. So there's so many things in just alone observation, understanding. If you can't get it yourself, then get yourself somebody like me that knows how to read a person. We've just done this here in this training. Like, I've read 10 people's essence, and then next blog we will read concepts, how does that essence want to express into life, and then understanding that between fulfilling needs and true abundance, that is that's the opposite side. Like, it's not about fulfilling needs and getting the Chanel purse and drive the G-Wagon and all of that stuff. It's not. It is, I mean, those are nice things. Don't get me wrong. I really appreciate beautiful things, but that's not what creates that sensation. That's not, you buy this and then you buy the next thing, because this is not fulfilling. Fulfilling is when you truly live yourself, and then abundance follows, because projection is reflection. If I project, everything is great, everything is right here, perfect the way it is, even if it is flawed, because who isn't flawed? We all have flaws.
I'm looking around like, yeah. I know I am.
So yeah, and then this is every one of us is, because that's how we are as humans. Why we don't remember how amazing we are, we have trouble being flawless. And that's not a problem, because we can be beautiful and flawed at the same time. And when we project that we are perfect just the way how we are, we project abundance, we project it is perfect into the mirror, and the mirror reflects exactly that. So we create a surrounding that sees us that way. Again, now we have this play of resonance and this play of, like triggering. I said it differently before. Sometimes my English goes out the window. But like these little resonance with one another that bounce each other up, and then you get better with it. Like you project more of this wholeness, and you get reflected this wholeness that makes you more confirmed in your wholeness, that you project more wholeness, and then you get reflected more wholeness. So
It's like a
one of the
mirror.
biggest, yes, the whole creation is like a mirror. We all think that if we give and give and give, that's when we get. The universe will give us back. But that is an old theme. That is the theme from separation. Now we're on the path of unification. So we must forget about that old theme and understand that it's ones and zeros. Stand in front of a mirror and you give everything away from yourself. You see everything go away from yourself. So that is the reflection. The world will create a scenario where everything is being taken from you. But if you give yourself self-love, which is self-care, first it starts with acceptance of what is as perfect. Then it says with, I care for this, what I accept. Then that turns into self-love. And from there, I give myself validation, recognition, kindness, gentleness, forgiveness, all of these things I give to myself first. What does the mirror see? How I give these amazing things that I have to give, even though I might not know in the beginning, because they're just words in the beginning, but then, or like tiny little actions. But if you just repeat it often enough, it will actually become something so powerful, because everything that you need to be whole and magnificent is within you. And all it takes is a little bit of practice and willpower to start executing these things. And the more you do it, the more the world around you will change. All these people that don't appreciate you, that are ungrateful, that don't see you, they will just fall away, and they will be replaced with people that actually do appreciate you, that are grateful for what you have to give, that validate all of whatever is absolutely in the right to be validated in the being togetherness and all of that stuff. Like, this is just, everything is projection and reflection. And you can practice this in front of the mirror, everybody. Just practice it at night and say, I love myself. I appreciate myself. I'm so grateful for, and even if you have only managed to get up today and brush your teeth, and that's all there was, because you just couldn't get any more done because you were maybe depressed, or you are feel defeated, or so many things that stops people often and think that they're worthless and have no value to community, or they're no contribution to the greater concept. That's not true. It's just that's just a feeling. That's just a momentary state. And even maybe that state has lasted 30 years already. Trust me, it can be changed with little things like you standing in front of your mirror and you're looking at yourself and feeling yourself and say, I am worthy everything, because I am everything. And therefore I am worth everything. And I see myself, I accept myself. Just keep saying these things to yourself. In the beginning, yes, they're just words. Don't worry about it. Keep saying them. Eventually, the energy will follow. It's where our attention goes. And do this a few times during your day. If you have, say, I'm proud of myself for getting up today, because getting up is very hard when you have depression, and or when you have not slept for maybe years because you have babies that don't sleep. It's very hard to get up. And if you manage only that, then yes, amazing. Be proud about this. Little things. If you have only managed to smile once a day, or whatever it is, be grateful for it that you managed that. Give yourself what you really wish others would give you. Because if we wait until the others give it to us, I'm telling you, it's never going to happen, because projection and reflection, right? If we don't do it and we just wait for the others to do it, then it will never happen.
That's
So
right.
let's not wait for the others. Let's not wait for that. Let's do it ourselves. And it's simple, and it doesn't cost a thing. It does not. You can, if you live on the streets and you have no money, you can go in front of a storefront, where is that? Where at night it reflects your own projection. So like a mirror, it works like a mirror.
Right.
Um,
The glass, the
yeah,
window.
yes, yes, yes. Sorry, sometimes it's just, oof.
No, it's
Um,
okay.
and then you can practice it there. If you are, if you have everything and constantly you feel so unfulfilled, then trust me, you do have reasons to feel that way, even though you might think, oh, it's whining from the highest horse. I have everything, and I'm still so worthless, and I feel so worthless. Trust me, there is a reason why you feel like that, and that has nothing to do with the things that you have, or with the money, or with the recognition. Maybe you might be a very famous person and still feel that way, because what makes us feel great is what we give to ourselves. And if we just fully embody that every single minute of the day, it will take some time for it to change and to catch on, but it will happen, I promise you. And you can find me on the internet and tell me after a year you did this, did nothing changed, then I might be corrected. But I'm sure that you will contact me on Instagram and you will tell me, Cru, it worked. I did this for 1 year and it did work, because it does.
It does. It does. And you have to be consistent.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. We can lapse in the beginning, because of course we're changing a pattern, a thought pattern. Every one of us thinks that we're not good enough. We just have that so deeply set into our subconscious mind. And so we're 7 parts of consciousness. One part is our conscious mind, and 6 parts is subconscious mind. So it's a huge iceberg that we're dealing with down there, that we don't know what that is doing. And that is projecting, of course, as well. That's why it's so important that we change what we can do with our conscious mind, that we really are so fully aware. Like, who hasn't said, "Oh my God, that was so stupid"? Like we have said this so many times in our lifetimes to ourselves, and that is only the kind ones. There's so many more. Like, I'm so ugly. I'm way too big. I am too small. I am too big. I am too thin. I am too ugly. I am too blonde. I'm too blue-eyed. I don't know. There's a million things that I am too. Like, we all know this. Women are very good at this. And we need to stop this. We need to stand in front of the mirror and say, I am this extremely amazing miracle. And it doesn't matter whether I'm in a genius in something, or whether I can read energy or not, or whether I'm like the king or I'm the baker. I'm telling you, if I had to choose the king or the baker, I think I would go with the baker, because that means yummy food every day.
I'm telling you,
um, yeah,
I like the
it's
baby.
yes.
Well,
We need to be more appreciative of what there is, even though it doesn't always look grand. It doesn't come in. Sometimes the most subtle things are the most world-changing things. And these tiny little ants that clean up the world the whole time, like, they're so tiny, you can overlook them all the time. I see them here in Costa Rica a lot, and they're so busy and so amazing. And I don't think somebody ever really validates them. And we feel often the same way, but we shouldn't,
no, we
because
should.
we are just as amazing. The miracle is in the tiny littlest sand corn. This mosquito too. Don't bite me. No, no.
But I took off my jacket because I wanted to show you my shirt.
See, that's exactly it. I love how we are so in alignment, you and I.
I said, "Oh my gosh, my t-shirt just says exactly what she's saying." You got to shout out
Perfect.
yourself sometimes. I wear this t-shirt out and people look at me like this. But they don't realize that it is a process. You do have to do
Oh,
self-care, and you have to believe, even if you don't completely believe that you're awesome, but you do have to believe that you are someone special and that you can accomplish your goals, you can accomplish your dreams. And it's gonna take some time. Do I believe that I'm awesome all the time? No. No, I don't.
no. We
No.
all don't. But it doesn't matter. We just have to come back to it.
Hmm.
Keep trying to believe. Like, this is the answer. It's not something that we can just do one time and then it's done. It's something we have to reprogram, because we hear this so early on. What? You're 3 years old and you still poop in your diapers? I mean, it starts with little things. She's not speaking yet. What's wrong with your child? She's not eating. What's wrong with your child? Like, you're not sleeping. You gotta suck it up. And I mean, you're half-year old and you can't sleep through the night, and you're already not right anymore. It starts so early and so innocent, because nobody thinks anything about it, but it's starting so early. So if you have children and you listen to me and you have young children, please don't do that. If they want to poop in
Definitely.
their pants until they're 5 years old, love them just the same. And don't ever tell them that they're not good enough just because their friend did it with two. Or if they don't sleep, there's reasons why they don't sleep. Let's find the reason. Let's not make them resignate at some point, stop crying and all of that stuff. Like, don't tell them that they're not good enough just because they're not smart, like a little genius, or because maybe they have a we see this with Down syndrome children or even adults. They have so much love. It's insane. Their intelligence is not very, I mean, I'm not like a specialist on that, but I know that they have their capacity lays within their heart, not in the intellectual mind. Maybe there is some that have that too. I don't know, but it's I've met so many of these Down children, and that the love ability that they have is like, oh my God, please, God, take some brain away from some people, because they
No,
might
yeah.
get and put it into their hearts. Maybe we would have a better world.
Oh yeah.
Um, so everybody is good enough. I have been around for more than one lifetime. I have memory of all the other ones too. And I'm telling you, I have only found special people. Even the most awful people that we would think as awful in the context of the way how society thinks about what is awful and what is not awful, are also special people
Hmm.
because everybody is everything.
Wow. Wow. Well, you've had an illness recently that changed your mind about the meaning of being human. Talk about that a little bit because I mean, people don't realize how important life really is.
Yeah, so I was diagnosed with Lyme's disease probably 15 years ago, and maybe a bit longer. He's 16 now. I had it already before he was born. So I probably got Lyme disease around 18 years ago, and that really taught me because I lived in a spiritual existence. For me, the body was the last thing that I cared about. Because if you know energy, you know how to evade this restriction of the physical body, which needs so many things. It needs food and water, it needs to go to the bathroom and all of those things that can be so interrupting. And you have fun and great things going on, like you don't want to spend time for those things. And so I was a pretty extreme sports person and did all sorts of crazy things, not paying attention to this. Also, as a child, I didn't pay attention much. I didn't eat. Maybe that's why I'm so short. and and so this was a very good lesson, this Lyme's disease, because you cannot survive Lyme if you don't start to honor the temple that you live in. That because in the end, the body is a full expression of your soul in matter. And I just didn't want to bow to that reality and thought I know everything better. Still think that I know everything better, but but I totally bowed to this truth that if it's you, it's you. It doesn't matter what kind of state this you is in, whether in a etheric state or in a physical state. And that really the only expression that I can have in order to be with other humans is this physical reality. Because if I'm just a spirit, then most humans will not notice that I'm there.
Mhm.
And so this Lyme's disease is this disease that you get sometimes, as most people get it really to learn a lesson because it doesn't kill you. It can kill you, definitely, if you don't learn your lesson. Um, and it also is not so quickly over. So it will definitely make you go on the knees and surrender at some point to whatever you have to learn. And I mean, it was close for me, very much so. And I was not able to take care of my children the way how they needed it because I was so sick for years. And it really changed the way how I thought about this whole physical reality. And that whole thing of me thinking I'm free when I'm outside of this limitation, I realized that you're never free. If you sit in a cage and you feel caged, then you're not free. If you fly outside of the cage and you feel free, then you're not free. You're free when you sit in the cage and you feel free. This is really freedom. So, and I didn't understand it until I finally had to descend into this physical reality and accept that with its limitations and be completely unaffected by it and be free in it. And that was really life changing or perspective changing. Also, how can you create abundance if you don't accept this manifestation of your own soul's abundance? You will never be able to create any lasting abundance. And I'm not meaning money or it's this abundant state of that lasts where there's contentment of self and confidence and fulfillment and those kind of things. Like the outside will always follow this internal abundance. There will be external abundance. These things trigger one another, and then again, it's like this game,
Yeah.
mm,
Wow.
resonance game. Yeah. So this is how I learned to be free in a cage, and not even think of this as a cage anymore. Like understand that it doesn't really matter. It's all really irrelevant. And the only thing that matters is that you truly in admiration to yourself as what you are and accept that the status is perfect. Because the underlying message of everything is perfect is wholeness and abundance. And then the reflection of that will be again abundance.
Wow.
If we always say, I want this, I want that, or one day I will be this, and one day I will be that, what you constantly project the underlying message is, it is not here. It's not there. That's a projection of lack. What do you get reflected? Lack. So don't ever think that you have to be better, because you don't. You're already better. And then you will have this world that supports that better. So it's all of these things, they're all like a learning lesson. We found many great modalities on that way of healing. This was a very long path of healing. It took me 13 years to get out of this. I was very stubborn, and learning the lesson. And sometimes I wonder, how can I be so stubborn being such a tiny person? So this was really a long path, but on that path we found so many amazing things. Like, for instance, I detected, my husband detected C60, which is the carbon in C60 molecule structure. And if you dilute an oil, then you can recognize the C60, and it is, and it's the only thing not been able to cure that with no matter what I try.
I find that everything you're saying, especially the part where you said, that you're not perfect, that you can, still love yourself and
Absolutely.
still honor yourself, even though you're not perfect, you can live in your imperfections, which is perfect. I
Exactly.
love it. I absolutely love
Yes.
it. And I love the fact that you've healed yourself.
Yeah. We are always our own medicine. Always, always. We can use modalities like quantum technology or C60 or other wonderful, wonderful things that are out there. They are all tools to use on that path. But really, in the end, the answer is in here, in this person that you are. Everything that you need is right there. The other things are just tools. Even if you would to work with me and I would guide you on that path of healing, I am also just a tool. In the end, it's my job to come out of you what you need in order to be whole. And the answer is always you.
Well, thank you, Cru, for being on the show. How can people reach you?
I have an Instagram channel. I'm not the most active Instagrammer. It's just, still something that I have to move into this new time. It's Cru Essence, all in one word, like CRU, and then Essence, ESSENCE. That's also my website. You can contact me through the website. I have a YouTube channel that's called Strawberry Love. There's a button on the website to connect to that one. And there's a few little beautiful things to use when you have nothing else that is supportive of this other side of the world. Yeah, there's a morning prayer. There's a few morning prayers and blessings, and where I talk about things in more specific depth that you can use to play with. Is it thundering out there? Well, let's hope that you're going to be safe.
Yeah, that
Um,
feels like
there's
lightning. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, I like thunderstorms. I'm this wild little girl that would take her broom out and jump on the broom in these thunderstorms.
No, no, you are. Yeah. Yep. You definitely got it. I don't know what it is, but it's not something I have. I will not go out there like this. I want to get away from the window. I want to get away from everything.
Well, you get right here inside of you. That's the best
That's
place to
it.
be.
That's it. Well, Crew, thank you so much. We're going to have
Thank
all
you,
the
Yaya.
information in the description box so people can follow you on Instagram and go to your website and everything. Okay.
Thank you, Yaya. I hope
Thank
you
you.
have a wonderful evening and it's not too crazy out there.
I hope I have light. I'm gonna get. I have my candle on. I always have a candle on behind me
Yes,
just in case.
yes, yes,
So
yes, yeah.
yeah. So
Well, keep fingers crossed.
thank you, crew. Thank you so much, and thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to dare to be different. And until next time, guys. Bye.
Thanks, bye.